Welcome to the Steroids Podcast with your host, Dan the Bodybuilder from Thailand. Boom! Boom! Let's get started here. The Steroids Podcast is brought to you by Ultimate Guide to ROIDS, 109-page ebook by Dan the Bodybuilder from Thailand. Now, for the first time in bodybuilding history, you have someone with no corporate interests and no obligation to please anyone, not walking on eggshells to not offend. Ultimate Guide to ROIDS gives you the information, the whole truth, not a full truth.
You can see that now, right?
Full truth.
It paused for a while, but now
Ultimate Guide to ROIDS gives you the keys to the Lamborghini.
Yes.
Gives you the information and lets you decide what to do with it. It's a crime this information has been suppressed this long. Now let's get on with the podcast.
Okay, welcome back to the Steroids Podcast. This is Dan the Bodybuilder from Thailand, and today I've got my friend on here, Jorge from Ecuador, to help me answer the questions and to just talk. So Jorge is a personal training client of mine, but he's got a great physique and he's a personal trainer himself, and he is definitely a very open and honest guy about what he's doing with his steroids. So Jorge competes. He does competitions, contest prep for bodybuilding, and he does what it takes in order to be in those competitions. So I think you guys are going to enjoy listening to Jorge today. Can you say hi, bro?
Hi, Dan. I'm ready.
Yep. Hey to the Steroids Podcast listeners. All right. So before we get into the questions, I just wanted to ask Jorge a few questions. So the first one, why do you take steroids, Jorge?
Well, okay. Hello to everybody listening to the podcast. Well, I started natural training because first I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was like 12 years old. I gave it hard on it. I went like from a white belt to a yellow, then orange, then green belt, because you have to pass for those colors when you're under 18. So that's before the blue belt. But I had like 5 competitions where I went to a final, and like the adrenaline of fighting another guy, still only like grappling and stuff. But
Jiu-Jitsu is an awesome real world fighting sport. I didn't know that you were involved with that.
Yes, I started with that. That's what like got me into like serious sports, because back then I was like in high school, not partying that much, like just focused kid, like doing sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So a lot of guys that I've talked to who get involved with jiu-jitsu, they say that it makes them feel much more confident for the rest of their lives afterwards.
Yeah. Even though when it got more serious on it, I was committed like as a completely sport, because here in Ecuador, I mean, you still have to go to the academies to train, and there's a lot of people, and not everybody has, like in the gym, not everybody has the same etiquette, like the same morals, and you still gotta fight. You're a fighter. Mm-hmm. But I rather like when I started lifting weights, and that's when I really got into it, like for life. That gave me more. The jiu-jitsu was also because here I know my value. Here I know why I eat, what I'm capable of, and still, if a judge says like no, I know that it's like his opinion, or maybe I wasn't like beaten like that. It's for example, a blind person cannot see that if I'm beaten on it. Like I'm working with my physique the way it is, and I do it for myself. It gives me more also, not only for the aesthetics. Like I know that everybody that is successful in bodybuilding is not only doing it for the aesthetics. They want to become like another type of person, complete the mutation, the way I call it.
Yeah. So when did you decide to go from natural to using steroid?
Yes. Okay. Well, I was natural the first 6 years of lifting, and everybody in the gym was like angry, calling at me like, "You are not telling the truth. Why are you lying?" And I got really deep into it. Like I was at 17, 16. I put like a rant on Facebook always like, you know why I look like this? Because I woke up in the morning, I do cardio, I eat some rice and chicken while you're having beers and pizza and sleeping till 12. I mean, like, come on, like have some respect. But
Mm-hmm.
people here, bro, it's like no respect, hate at all. I mean, back then, as a kid, because everybody does what their parents told them. And it's like, oh no, those proteins will make your dick fall off. I mean, if you take a scoop of protein, your dick will fall off. That's here in Ecuador, bro.
Like a whey protein.
Yeah, man. I mean, we have come a long way since that. I mean, I have witnessed the proteins got in the market. Back then, there was like not even proteins here. But it has gotten more open with the internet and with the stuff and Instagram, now TikTok and shit. It's like more worldwide. Now it's more acceptable,
Okay.
but still a freak kind of look.
So before they thought that basically that whey protein, maybe 5 years ago, you're saying in Ecuador, they thought whey protein was steroids.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, you asked me why I started in ROIDS. Well, I started competing. Yeah. I started competing as a natural. I competed natural the first time, and I was 16 the first time I did a show, like a bodybuilding show. I was on a diet, in college. I did it all for myself. It was weird, and it was not even healthy. Just like a kid cutting calories to look ripped,
Yeah.
That's how some people, I gained the respect of some people, and they started on understanding their sport more.
Okay.
So I competed again when I'm like 17, 18, but like more bigger now with test boosters and stuff, but still natty. And I
Okay.
remember people going mad and stuff, But then on the third show, it got very real because it was like uh, uh, the city competition, like Mr. Guayaquil, the city that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, I was in college. I was training people to pay my bodybuilding supplements and stuff, diet, and I'm like training people, going to college, and preparing myself for a contest. Like three things in a while. I remember, like 2 weeks out, no carbs, driving to college, like I didn't crash myself, but so I was in alert and somebody crashed me. And since then, I don't have a fucking car, bro, because like here in Ecuador, it's kind of complicated to get your own car, but I will get there. But like family won't borrow me the car because they think that I will die if I. But okay, that's another subject.
So you were natural, and you were experiencing contest prep dieting, and you were saying that at the
on
time,
a test booster, like at 19.
Yeah. And you were dieting hard enough that you were not really all there. You felt like you were kind of in a dreamland or something.
Oh my God! I mean, like I dieting as a natural for a bodybuilding contest. If you don't have all the food and all that, you will feel like you're dying sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta work out. You're so weak, bro. I was like so weak. That's why I didn't like. Like I doubted sometimes competition because when you told me contest and leaning out, I was thinking about getting weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, holy fuck! And I'm getting weak, and these guys come. I still respected people that did it, but I didn't did it at the time. So I was like getting beaten by these guys that were fully committed to it and got like the cycles and stuff. So I knew that I was afraid that of what people said, of what my mom said, of what could happen, the side effects. I knew that I was afraid, and I got that third place because I didn't did what they did.
Okay. So you were aware that the guys you were competing against were using steroids, and you were working harder than them, and it was bugging you.
Yes, and in this last one, in this Mr. Guayaquil, I went to the final. So it was the final between me and one guy that was, of course, on a cycle and had done various cycles. And this was very intense, bro, because in muscle maturity context and proportions, I know I was better. But he, of course, had a lot more legs. And I mean, if it would be another type of judges, they would probably have gave it to me. but they gave it to him because probably they thought that he was more committed to the sport, like even putting his health on risk, for example, more than mine, you
Okay.
know. But I don't think there's a health risk if you don't eat your cut calories wrong. But if you eat well, I mean, I have experienced zero side effects on PEDs.
Mm. So then what happened after that?
So after that competition, I was like, okay, I remember I throw like a chair going on my way out. I was like, so I couldn't even take it, you know. I couldn't. I put so much effort to it. I'm watching the other guy and thinking that other judges will have other opinion and stuff. Like people telling me, you have one, your friends will always tell you that. But this time I couldn't take it, so it was like my fourth contest. I'm losing to a guy that did a cycle, so I say, okay, I'm gonna do a cycle, and I started my first cycle. And it was back then you
So
could
this
buy.
was it. This was it. After you were beaten by the other guy in the contest, you decided right there at the end of the contest that you're gonna use the steroid now.
Exactly.
Got it. And so what was it? What was your first cycle?
First cycle, in that time I could buy in the pharmacy the Primobolan of Bayer.
So you used a pharmaceutical grade testosterone from Ecuador.
Yes, at 19, 20.
Mm-hmm. How many milligrams a week did you use?
Well, I started with only one ampule.
One ampule per week, so 250 milligrams.
I have heard that that's like 50, no, not 50, but that's like 5 times more than what a doctor would give you. So that was like bodybuilding dosages. So I respected it. And I was like, okay, one vial is like a lot, you know.
So mentally, you were thinking that this was some serious shit.
Oh, of course, yeah. Everybody here thinks that that's like some magical shit. Like you will inject it and you will get like insane. But they don't even get it. They don't know. When I tell them, if you do the thing you say that you can do a first cycle and probably people won't even notice it. And when you tell that people that doesn't even work out, you tell them that and they're like, oh, so I look like this because I don't train. And it's not like you inject yourself every 5 seconds, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes they even think it's oil, that like it's side enhancement, that they even don't know muscle or what body can look like, because here people don't even eat protein, bro.
So how long did you do the testosterone 1 milliliter per week for?
Okay, so I did it 4 weeks, and I was on some Winstrol also. You know, my first shot of Winstrol was delivered to me by a friend, and I was like sitting down, laying down my leg, and he like shot me in the quad, right in the quad with a Winstrol shot. That was like my first ROID shot. Can you imagine?
Oh my God, yeah. So it was the water-based Winstrol, the kind that is white, and you have to shake
Yes.
it up. Oh, that must have hurt like a bitch,
Bro. I lost function properly of the leg. Like if I would stand up, I would like fall. Bro. Yeah,
that must have been scary for your first injection.
I mean, exactly. Like I knew it was gonna hurt, and I was so committed that I was like, okay. I also knew that my friend was a stupid guy, and that was not the way. But as I didn't get new to inject, that's when I also understand that I needed to learn how to inject myself properly.
Okay.
If I want to be successful in this, like if I'm not gonna have a nurse 24/7, I need to know how to inject.
Mm-hmm.
And I got good at it. I think if you lose the fear and you have like a good pulse, maybe if you are a guy like with a bad pulse, you can say like, okay, I'm gonna get them from someone else.
Yeah, I like doing my own shots too. I definitely prefer to do my own, not having someone else do it for me.
So the Winstrol and that was the first 4 weeks. So I finished the Winstrol, and then I started with a mixed vial that it was called Razor X from the XT Labs.
Ooh.
And it was
wait, before you get to the Racer X though, did you make good gains on the Winstrol during those 4 weeks?
Yeah. Well, Winstrol and test. I mean, the test. I noticed that the pump and like what muscle retention was 10 times bigger. Like, and the wellness, the sense of well-being, like test put me in a calm state. Like I even noticed that my body was probably depleted on that, or like was running low on that, but because of all the exercise that I did. I mean, I always
Oh,
have had very high libido, but I have come to understand that libido sometimes doesn't have to do much. I mean, yeah, of course, but you can have libido and you can have low test.
so your sex drive, did it go up or down during that?
No, no, exactly. Like it didn't change that much with one
Oh, okay.
while it
So,
was still, but also the Winstrol. But
so
right now, I can
you didn't
handle it.
feel the difference, but you were
When I'm on a
expecting
gram
your
of
sex
test,
drive to go wild.
I do feel more libido. When I'm on a gram of test, I do feel like a lot more libido.
Yeah, it varies. Guys think that they're going to go on testosterone and they're going to be some kind of sexual maniac. It's more of like if you take Masteron or Proviron that you're going to be having a lot of sex thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah, that's when you probably will get your boyfriend like tired sometimes. Maybe like she will tell you like, okay,
Your girlfriend.
yeah, for example,
Yeah.
on those kind of stuff, you're like non-stopping like 24/7. My God.
Okay, so you made good gains, but you were training a ton on the. But you noticed the effects of the Winstrol, and then you went onto the Racer X next.
I was so scared also about my articulation, my joints going like because I have heard that they got dried. So I was very attent to that because if my nutrition hasn't been on point always. I always have like certain sounds on my body, so I was like always.
Sorry, Jorge, are you still there? Looks like he has cut out really severely here. So hopefully we get him back in a moment here. Yeah, so he's been competing. Oh, Jorge, you're back there. You're back now. I think your connection went out.
Yes, a window popped out and it stopped me for a while.
Okay.
I was telling you,
so
so I was afraid of my joints getting dry.
yeah, and then the next thing you went on to the Racer X mix bottle, right?
Yes, yes. But as I was
What was
telling
that?
you, that was Trenbolone, propionate, and I think Masteron.
Okay, so Test Tren and Masteron mix.
Yes.
And how did that go?
Okay, so that was like great. As I told you, I have used supplements my whole life. Even the hard supposed to be supplements like the Clear Muscle or the Clear Muscle. It's like a test boosters. That was for me like good. When I got a little taste of like that. I have taste. There were some pills here that people told they were dirty, but okay, well, these that was the first time I gained like a lot of like the progress I made. I couldn't even explain it. I have trained for 5 years. Like the progress of 1 year, it was in 2 weeks. Like adding
once you got on the Test Tren Masteron, you made 5 years progress in 2 weeks.
Since the Winstrol and the test and trying the Bayer test of Primobolan. Since then.
Okay. So
the third week, the fourth week,
just this first cycle.
I gained like 20 pounds. I gained like 20 pounds on my first cycle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I came from 160 to 180.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lean because as I had trained all my life and all these years that my body was always like depleted on a cellular level. That's what I've been told because I'm like, you can say addicted to exercise. Some people would call it like I can't stay still all the time. On the lockdowns, I was getting depressed and stuff. I had to buy a dumbbell. I had to buy,
Yeah. You're an active guy. You got to do that for your mental health.
Exactly. So that was good. And that was like somebody was guiding me on this cycle. So I started with the test and the Winstrol. Then I changed the vial for the Racer. And the last month of the cycle, that I was like super concentrate because to learn this and learning about the compounds and each compound and the effect and stuff. So this was Primobolan. Finally, I Primobolan, and I have told that it got their immune system better and stuff. So on the Primobolan was the best I felt, and my quality on this third month of cycle, it lasted about third month and a half, almost 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It was like amazing. It was like the best. I remember my legs have never felt like that. I always have told that my legs were a weak point, and as I even trained them more, they got like more fatigue. So they even, as a natural, you can. I was like I cut. How do you say catabolism? Catabolism.
Muscle breakdown or
Yeah, exactly.
metabolism. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had that problem a lot because I'm like an ectomorph, and I gotta tell you, sometimes these supplements they don't even tell you what it's in it, and sometimes they're like underground lab supplements here also, So I had some couple of pills when I was 16 and stuff, and I think that messed me up a little because
like it was spiked with steroids, some kind of supplement, and it was spiked with some steroids or something.
Exactly, I didn't know what it was there, so then it was like sometimes it got messed up, and I still look good, but it wasn't like a straight progressive line when I just started like gains and leaner and more aesthetic and growing like proportionately in just the way you want to. For example, you hit a front double biceps and you notice like the lats coming all the way from the bottom, and they don't just grow wide, they were growing like with the lines and stuff. For example, I have lines of my tricep. I have always admired the lines of that muscle maturity that we
like a feather look on your tricep where you can see the fibers. Looks like we might have lost Jorge again there. Anyways, yeah, Jorge's really lean. He has a major recomposition ability. Are you back?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
Okay, so your first cycle, then, it sounds like it was a major success. You got on your first cycle. It lasted about 4 months. You started with testosterone and Winstrol, then did testosterone, Trenbolone, Masteron, and then ended with adding Primobolan in there. And sounds like you gained about 20 pounds of pure muscle while staying lean. I've noticed while I have been involved with your training and supplementation that you are a person who does body recomposition easily. Your body, when you start training and you take steroids, it seems like you lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but losing fat seems to be what happens the most for you. You get ripped up.
Yeah, that exactly, because I'm a hard gainer, but on the fat stuff, I have always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, I have smoked weed since like 16, since 15. I have smoked weed, and that helped me like with my nutrition and drinking water a lot.
Oh yeah. So with getting enough food in, smoking cannabis has helped you to eat more.
Yes, I remember back then in college, a lot of calories was because I had a problem with my appetite. If I could have ate them normally, I would have not smoked like that.
A lot of bodybuilders smoke cannabis. If you go and hang out with pro bodybuilders in like Los Angeles area, Venice Beach area, man, most of them have a bong in their front room.
Yeah, it helps you, and the UFC guys also have bongs sometimes.
It's popular in sports, cannabis.
Yes, it helps me a lot.
So, sounds like you had good quality gear there, and one thing that people ask about a lot is Equipoise and their experiences with that. In South America, they have the best Equipoise down in South America because they have at the veterinarian you can get the Equipoise for the horses, or they have the Pfizer brand, and then they have one other brand. I forgot what the name of it is. Have you ever used any of that veterinarian Equipoise?
No, the veterinarian Equipoise, I have not used it, but I have been recommended by a lot of people here to use it, but I have not used it. Probably because the people that recommended to me didn't wear right on their nutritional stuff, and they were very watery. So I was scared of Equipoise for that reason.
So it's popular. It's popular where you're at, but you haven't tried it.
Yes, and also I have heard before that the Mr. Guy, Tony Huge with the other guy, the bald big guy, and they have told that you won't get gains from Equipoise.
Well, it's definitely an anabolic, but you got to use a lot of it. Usually the guys who have success with Equipoise is around 900 milligrams to 1,200 milligrams a week. Yeah. A lot of guys, because, you know, it's only half as strong as testosterone in building muscle. So, you know, guys get scared when they hear stuff like a gram of steroids. If they're a new guy, you know, they think, oh, a gram of steroids. And the reality is that if you're not taking a gram of you know, kind of weak steroids like Primobolan or Equipoise or some of these other ones, you know, you're not going to be building shit. So people have a very disappointing experience a lot of times on them. You know, and so this is one thing with Jorge too is, you know, he competes and, you know, he definitely is not afraid to take his dosages high. For example, when you contest prepped about a year ago or so, you were using 1,000 milligrams a week of Trenbolone.
Yes, and even in the last days, I did not use test, like only Tren. I remember those days in Tren City.
What did you think about that experience being real high up on the Trenbolone dosage like that? How did that go?
Well, I was like another type of person. I mean, I was like eating, breathing the competition and the contest.
I remember that you were eating like a bird. You were eating like egg whites and a little bit of rice.
Yes, I've heard Trenbolone improves the quality of, I don't know why it's said like that, but in the Tiger Pharma box, it comes like the instructions, and it says Trenbolone was created to enhance the ability of the animal to feed himself, like choosing the nutrients and stuff.
Yeah, I think they're referring to the nutrient partitioning ability there, because
but in the brain, the way it affects your brain, like for the animal to look for food better, you know, in a way.
Okay. So how did it affect your brain being on 1,000 milligrams?
In that way, like I used the rage to eat what I had to eat, but I mean, I was like, I had to walk. The weeds helped a lot, but you know, you get hungry on those contests, but just like the way to being shredded, when you're already shredded, it's more already simple, and you just have to, even though eat your carbs then because you're already depleted and shredded. And that's like, but the way going to be shredded, I could have done it more easily if I would have more on point of my diet. Nowadays, when I use stuff, I take care of my diet so that I don't get like angry, you know, and stuff.
You mean because you're on such low calories that you were feeling more angry, irritable? Yeah.
In the street, I didn't like people watching me. I'm very responsive. Sometimes I had to control my. For example, in a gym, I had problem in a gym because the instructors always want to come and like talk trash on you, and like the first time I like try to talk back to them, but then they're on a way like, okay, this is my gym, I'll come here every day, you're like a new guy, and I'm just gonna fucking talk trash on your workout so you feel like shit and you don't come here and you don't make me feel small again.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder, you know, what the hell would they be talking trash to you about, because you were seriously dense and ripped at the time. So, you know, what they were just saying your workout's stupid or something like that?
No, they for the most little thing, you know, I always pick the weights up and I didn't make no noise, didn't throw the weight. But one day I didn't have flat shoes, and I remember I took my shoes off to do squats. And you know, I mean, he came to me and approached me, and I was like ready to put my shoes on stuff on, but he like touched me, like pointed his finger at me and like, you know, like aggressively. And I was also there with my girlfriend, and
That is really aggressive. Yeah.
bro, I was like, uh, I remember then I had a trouble. I mean, I didn't cause like a big fucking scene, but I did send him to hell. I was like, come outside, I'm gonna fight you right now, motherfucker. Like I was like ready to take him down.
Oh man, that's funny.
And it was a big guy, and I was like on a fucking strict diet, so I don't know what I was
Yeah.
thinking back then.
What did he say?
No, he was of course in his job. I mean, he just like he knew that he overpassed himself with this hate. There are a lot of people that appreciate the sport, but sometimes you encounter these guys like full of hate. Imagine a roided bad guy with morals at the start as a personal trainer, also being treated bad by people that come and don't like his work and stuff. So they're just full of hate on a dense level, bro. Because imagine here in the bus and the stuff and the heat. So they're like they don't control themselves, and the owner of the gym doesn't even know, doesn't even care. It's like if they have a lot of complaints about one guy, they change him, but he meanwhile can be doing some shit over there.
Yeah, well, one of the nicknames for the gym is the zoo. Just in general, gyms all over the place because of the sociopathy and mental derangement of the average person that is inside the gym. The people who are really heavily involved in bodybuilding and fitness, a lot of times are fucking crazy.
Exactly. And when you train, when you're working out, you're like feeling stuff harder, and when you're on the stimulants and the free and the stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People gets like their senses up. For example, here you have the problem like the guys go crazy. You have women, they cannot go to any type of gym. You'll get that here.
What about the women?
For example, even the gay guys. I have been kicked out by one gym because like a gay guy won't even quit it. Like I was like, please, bro, go apart. And then he was like following me and around. And then when he tried to ruin a set, I like fucking slapped him in the face, and they fucking kicked us out of the gym. But it was supposedly a VIP gym, but in every gym it happens the same, bro. I mean,
He wouldn't leave you. The gay dude wouldn't leave you alone while you were training.
Yeah, exactly. That was weird.
So yes, to the listeners, man, that are listening to this podcast. So there's a thing with gay dudes liking bodybuilders. So when you get involved in bodybuilding and you definitely look like
I do respect. I don't have any problem. I have a lot of gay friends, and that's not the problem. What I'm telling you is that in the zoo behavior of the people in the gym, not also the sociopathic, but here you got like the crazy libido guys. Like a lot of the time.
They'll be asking you for your underwear and stuff like that. You know,
No, not to me. To me, to me it's like more chill. But the ladies get no, for real. Sometimes they want to train and they gotta wait. Like for example, they go with the trainer and the trainer is like, okay, Maria, friend, you behave, please. She is gonna train with us. You know her, and they are like passing the weeks and they see her. Because it's like dancers, they will go talk to her, for example, try to use the same machine, try to alternate, you know. Yeah. So that's what the way. But you know, with respect and stuff, you still can approach to someone and stuff. And like even us, for example, if we go try to talk to a girl that doesn't want to talk to us, he will be like, oh, it's like that. But I have a lot of gay friends and stuff. And like,
so you're saying that when you've been in the gym and because you know a bodybuilder for a gay dude, a lot of the times, you know, the gay dudes are very interested in bodybuilding. When you for the guys that are listening, when you start looking like, you know, you are a bodybuilder, you're going to notice that if you think you're going to get a bunch of attention from women, that's not really going to be what it is. You are going to start getting a huge amount of attention from gay men. So you're
that's
saying that they would not take no for an answer because you know it's very very
that's
aggressive.
when you realize for women most of the time it's more important even what's in your wallet, maybe that how your body looks. That's why most of the fucking gay guys are like, oh, you look so good and the woman don't appreciate it, I'm gonna give you the attention. So, but because in the real life it's more okay, or stuff, they will fucking whistle at you. Like if you're a woman, I mean, they also do it to women. That's what I'm telling you. They do it to women. It's wrong. So I live in this culture, and bodybuilding in this culture, yeah, it has been a whole trip. In Instagram, it was where it has gone more bizarre. I had to delete my past one, not because of that. I used to have a girlfriend and stuff, but of the 5,000 ones, I mean, like 2,000 or 2,000 and a half, of the 5,000, the half of them were like gay guys, and deeply
the people at the gym,
liking all the pictures and stuff, liking, for example, 3 times a week I will get like 2 or 3 guys liking the 200 pics.
Oh, you mean the people on your Instagram, the people who are to get on your Instagram?
Yeah, no girls, very few, but sometimes you get good girls also on the worldwide that also appreciate the sport and the games. It's good to find a girl that it's also like into this, but it's still feminine. That's like, and nowadays it's growing a little more, like with the girls in the bikini stuff. I noticed. I mean, yeah. Sometimes in YouTube there are a couple new girls in the bikini that are younger that use as they're these male influencers, guys, like in the range of 18 to 25 male influencers on YouTube. They're starting to appear a lot more girls that go to the gym and that are more. Yeah, it's getting a little. I think that it's going to get better for us in the next years. At least it has to, like, because it's like 30-30, 70-30, or 80-20 in the way that you get audience like from men, gays, and stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so a lot of guys, they're not attracted to women that are too lean, too hard, because it's not a feminine thing. But one of the cool things about South America, and I mean, I know this because I was there too, is that the South American culture likes a more round or curvy type of body. So the women, it's considered culturally more attractive to have a softer, more shapely body. Does that tie in with the girls at the gym too? Do they not want to get quite so lean there?
Yes, that happens.
I mean, that's good then for keeping them looking more feminine. I would prefer that myself.
Yes, you get that a lot. You get that a lot. So there are a lot of good aesthetics also here.
One of the funny things I noticed when I was in Colombia was there would be the girls, the Colombian girls. Some of them would try to get a certain amount of attention, and a way that they would do it when they would walk by the dumbbell rack or something in front of where I was sitting is they'd kind of toss their hair up, kind of like a horse would toss its mane up.
They like that attention.
They've got a certain way, of getting attention like that, which I thought it's a very South American culture type of thing.
Even the way they talk, you probably would think it's just their accent, but they also manipulate it to hear more like that.
I see. Do you think if you're gonna get a girlfriend, do you usually go for a girl in the gym, or do you try to meet someone outside of the gym?
No, my first girlfriend, she didn't even eat like protein and stuff. It was like she even had eating disorders, like of bulimic and stuff. But she trained CrossFit and then drank alcohol in the weekends. So they trained just like for the last 7 months, and she even had like scoliosis in her back, like when your back is. So
Yeah.
I trained her like for 2 years, nutrition stuff. She was like a before and after, like wow. I gained a lot of woman clients because of that, because I put her on my stories and stuff. But
Really?
the
What
deal.
did you help her grow her? Did you
Then
help her grow
then
her
she went
butt
her way.
a lot bigger or something like that?
Yeah, for example, her butt in her butt was her biggest concern, because it was. But I noticed her personality, and I used to know her since she was since we were like 12.
Mm-hmm. So you guys childhood friends.
Yeah, exactly. So as I was into this, and she always had been like paying attention, and then we met up like in the older stuff. I said, okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do this with you. In the end, I always knew that she would probably not be with me for always, but she was also like good with me in every way. So we helped each other out, and now she has her gains and her own fitness journey that she is continuing by her own.
Ah, cool. You set her up. Yeah, you know what? When I was in South America, and I noticed that the women there, their ass is everything, and also the men. To the men, when they're thinking about the women, they're not concerned so much about like the legs or the hips or the breasts. You know, the ass it's got a big focus. The woman's ass in South America.
We also have that problem here, like in Colombia. But now that the aesthetics and the gym culture is going wider, I mean, just in the low, I mean, how could you say this? People that are not too studied, like literally, that they are not too educated.
Mm-hmm.
They are more into that stuff because it's not even healthy when like you're just gonna grow your butt injecting it something. And they ask me sometimes, people asking me, is it okay if I just inject this? It's supposed to gain fat only in the ass, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna inject something that's gonna make you gain fat localized. I mean, side enhancement like that.
Yeah, that's really common in Ecuador, right? To use for the women to use site enhancement in their asses.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed too. I mean, all the girls, even the older ones who are 40 years old, 50 years old, they're walking around with these huge asses.
Yeah, and they know that still they do some stairs and stuff, so they say that I will still have some legs.
Uh-huh.
I just have to grow my ass because people is lazy, you know. So and they see sometimes other women going good with it, like so they are like, oh, she got a man because she injected her butt. I'm gonna do that too.
Ah, okay. I see. That's kind of nice though that they're thinking like that they want to do that because they want to get a man though, because if you go in America, you know, they're thinking the exact opposite. They're basically thinking, how can I disgust every man I see so that I can be a feminist or something?
That is worldwide. That is like getting world. Here you have the guys that, for example, like to go to America every time and every minute, and they think that they're too much for us. They also it's a worldwide thing, you know. And with the guys, they're making them fucking fanboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's insane that shit. Woman going nasty and that is happening a lot. Even my ex that I told you, she was on that trip too. For example, this no bra thing now is a new culture. You get the Steffi Cohen, she's a good athlete, very strong, but she's also a promoter of the free the nipple, like no bra stuff.
Oh yeah. I don't like
that. That could be normal or good, but sometimes you're with other people, and I don't know. I respect still, but for example, here, every fucking friend of mine, if she would try to go like that, you will be like staring straight at their nipples.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, you know, when you don't run Cabergoline when you use Trenbolone, do you?
The first times I did because I was more afraid of gyno, but then I didn't even use anti-estrogen when I'm on test. Right now, because I'm going to compete in July, I just got myself some anastrozole yesterday.
But you don't. I think if I remember correctly, you're one of the guys that can run exorbitant amounts of Trenbolone or Deca or whatever, and you don't have any kind of sexual dysfunction issues from that, and no Cabergoline is needed, right?
No, I even was sometimes. I have only been in Trenbolone and no test twice. The one that I competed, and you know because you helped me with that cycle, and then some days I was like having fights with my girlfriend, so she lives in another city and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna chemically castrate myself. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So
I used Tren and no test for like 4 weeks. You know, I did sometimes 2 shots per week, sometimes 3 shots per week of 100 milligrams Tren Ace.
Yeah.
Then you also then I switched. I finished that vial and then I go to another vial, and I injected it practically every day, bro. Of this was anything. This one was, but it was Tren, bro. It was Tren. It was more like the most powerful Tren I have tried is the Gaia Core and the Tiger Pharma. Those are hard. Even the Tiger Pharma, that's even more strong.
And
This
those
one
were the Unwanted Trenbolone, right?
no, the
Acetate.
Gaia Core acetate, exactly. But the Enethate one was from XT Labs, I guess.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But you like the
This one was
acetate Trenbolone the best.
350 milligrams per ml. Yeah, I like acetate better a lot because it doesn't retain liquid and less gyno. So listen, when I was in this like 8-week Tren chemically castration because I was angry with my girlfriend and she was in another city, in one of those we got together and she fucking got pregnant, bro. But
you got her pregnant.
Yeah.
On Tren only cycle, 1,000 milligrams a week.
I was so we practically ended up because of that because I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her that she wasn't with another guy. She would like get so offended of that because she's like, oh my god, but we still didn't have it because, I mean, she noticed it when she missed her first period, and then I'm not proud of this. I went through a lot of this. I'm telling you more chill about it now, but she took like the more hard tough pills after a month.
Okay.
I was like fucking half the baby. I was like half the baby, but she was like. She was like, oh, there's no even fucking a chance I'm doing that. So I was like, it's your decision, it's your body. So it was like a mix of emotions and stuff, and that then, but it still to this day, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's possible because
because you don't know.
And I did ejaculated. Almost nothing came out, but it still ejaculated a little, you know.
Yeah, because when you're on steroids, especially Trenbolone, your balls are shrunk and not a lot of sperm, not a lot of semen comes out.
I did use Nitraflex that has some test booster in meantime. Okay, so that might have helped to still have some because you don't need to have like skyrocket free test to get a woman pregnant.
Do you ever use HCG, Jorge?
Oh yes, now I do use more when I PCT. The first time I didn't use that much, and I felt like a little depressed, not wanting to train. I was so soft, but still in the weeks coming up, my body recomp itself. But it's dangerous. It's not healthy, and you can get injured in those days.
Yeah, well, you were saying that, you know, when you were on the Tren, when you ejaculated, basically nothing came out. But the HCG reverses that pretty damn well.
Yeah, that's dense, and the Clomid, the Clomid too. I don't know about Proviron in that phase. Some people use it in the PCT. Some people said no. What use the Proviron as a PCT? I used to can get it over the counter here, but just after the pandemic, it has been very rare. Now you cannot get it no more.
Yeah, recently I think you've been started growth hormone. Before that, you were just using steroids, and now recently you've been using Genotropin, Pfizer Genotropin. Am I right?
Yes.
How have you been liking that? What do you think of it?
It's probably one of it's like Tren, very high Tren, and Clen on the lean stuff, or even probably more.
It's making you very lean.
Yes.
Are you taking it once a day, or are you taking a couple shots a day? How are you doing it?
I've taken it like I like to take it when I wake up when I'm fasted.
And that's a good way to use it.
Walk a little.
Fat burning.
Yes, but I also like to use it pre-workout and post-workout. But you know, I can't go crazy on it. So that was like an experiment. You know, like one day I tried like fasted and that, and and it was good. And then one day pre-workout, and then one day post-workout, and then one day the 3 times. The most high I've been. First, I was afraid of just doing 4 IUs in a shot in a vial that comes prepared like that. That also sells here in the pharmacy. That I think I have asking you about it. I also think it's like generic, but I don't know. But it also works good. But did notice when I used that 4 IU vial, like as I recuperated a lot longer, a lot faster, and I was on test and stuff, I did get like a not more how do you say heart rate pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I was having like that, but a lot of energy. For example, I remember I even like when you first when you first try testing roids, and
Mm-hmm.
you get like you recuperate and sleep. I did get that because I have heard you that you almost get no feeling at all of the GH, but in the recuperation, like it did help me a lot. Probably my body was like lacking on it, or already you stop producing it, stop. And I have started roids and tests since I was 19, and I have had go high before on them, and I have heard you say a lot of times testing roids will get you somewhere, but the GH is what completes the mutation. And it makes a lot of sense because you're giving all the ingredients to the body that it needs to have to grow, and then also a little bit of insulin, a little bit.
Is that how it's worked for you then? So it sounds like you're thinking that since you've added in the. By the way, guys, Jorge said a minute ago that he was getting a 4 IU vial from the pharmacy, and he didn't know if that was generic or pharmaceutical grade. I looked at it; it was pharmaceutical grade. So he's
Nice.
just using the real stuff. And so you're using is that your normal dose when you take the growth hormone, 4 IUs?
Yes. 4 IUs, 2 IUs. I think I will be seeing nothing.
And what about the muscle size or the muscle shape? We heard that you got a good fat loss from it. It increased your energy a lot. Did it do anything for your muscles?
Right now I'm only using test and HGH and a little bit of insulin, but I used to need it like orals and like Tren and like more test to get all of this look. Like I needed like 2,000 milligrams of roids in my body to get to what 4 IUs of HGH does. It's like insane. But I was afraid of testing roids, I was also afraid of GH because I thought like my head will go like a balloon and my hands will go bigger, like I will go deformed and stuff. But
you're afraid of like acromegaly, growing your organs, growing your head.
Exactly. You said it's IGF levels when you are on an enormous amount of roids and insulin and GH that created the IGH-1, and that's what even can make your stomach a lot bigger because the IGF is just like a substance produced by all of these stuff, not substance, hormone or whatever. IGF-1. You are like more the scientific guy. I'm just like learn from you and apply it.
Yeah, and you've got that genetic predisposition too, where all the stuff works really well on you. So you're a good person to see all the performance-enhancing drugs applied on. With this episode on the YouTube version, I'm going to put some photos of you up on it so people can see what you look like. So now that you're using the growth hormone, you were saying that it's making it so that you don't need to use as much anabolic steroids, and you're getting much better effects from similar to when you were using a lot.
I'm not using any steroid. This 2021, I have not used any steroid. January, I was clean all January, doing only HCG. And in February, I started with test and HGH.
Okay.
But I remember in January, I also did GH sometimes. But I was afraid of doing it also because you have told me that it doesn't work without test. But I still did it sometimes, like to keep my size or to see what happened.
Yeah. How's it worked when you've used the HGH without the testosterone? What has it done for you?
as it was still working a little, I had to get to the understanding that I still had some residues of the test because I stopped it recently and I used like Sustanon 400 milligrams of Tiger Pharma.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I remember I injected like one vial in one tricep, in another tricep, and one in each glute. So you imagine it's like 8,000 upper and 8,000 lower. It's like 1,000, ¿cómo se dice? 1,600. 1,600? How do you say it?
1,600 of what?
Of Sustanon in my body.
Oh, per month or per week?
That was as I was going to travel, you know, this January and the last days of December before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I put all of this test on my body.
Oh, okay, so you did it like all at one time. You put in a large amount.
Yes. And even in the January that I'm telling you, when I got like completely clean, 2 weeks of nothing, the first 2 weeks was a lot of HCG and some GH.
Mm.
Okay, so it was like not raw GH, it was with HCG.
Uh-huh. So you had that residue from the huge amount of testosterone that you took. So it was still kind of going.
I got some pictures that I will send you to you of those days.
Okay.
And I was very good. I did a PR even on the last 2 weeks of January that I was completely off. I did a PR and I lifted like 140 kilos for 2 reps on the bench press. That after my dislocated shoulder on August the last year, that I practically cycled it up to being good. Like I remember, that's when I started GH, when I dislocated my shoulder after like 9 years of bodybuilding.
Did it help with your injury? Is that why you began taking
it? Immediately. The very next day, I felt better a lot.
Were you injecting it into the shoulder?
Yes.
Yeah, it works good like that. If you're hurt, if you're injured, putting the growth hormone into the injury. Yeah. So what are your favorite steroids now? Like, what's your favorite cycles, Jorge?
Well, these have definitely been my favorite. I feel so clean, like a clean high. I would say, like if I had some type of a clean high of like normal. I'm feeling very normal. In the past, I have got very excited with the cycle. Like for example, on the weekends when they were parties, I still attend, trying to fucking be like a Jeff Side, the type of partying, fitness, also to sell to the clients that I can party and stuff. But also I like the parties and popping molly sometimes. But I had to control myself. Or for example, when I needed to rest because I knew my body needed to rest, and I was like wanting to go work out.
Okay.
It was hard, you know. I had to smoke. I had to read. I had to fucking pray. I had to do stuff. I just wanted to train or fuck or party. I was like very intense. But right now, I'm so chill. I can be like natural, for example, right now.
So when you were on more steroids, your life was more out of control. Is that what you're saying? You wanted to do these things. You said like party or fuck or train.
Yeah.
And now currently you're feeling more under control. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And so what is it now that you're taking? Can you just go over your cycle for a second?
Yeah. Right now I'm 500, between 500 and 750 of test cypionate. Okay, and the GH I've been running 4 I use some days and 8 I use some days, but only on workout days.
8 I use.
I'm talking in February. Yeah, this has been my cycle in February.
Yeah. Okay.
I've just started. But this recently kicked in. Like I noticed the difference. The first day I get really watery.
Oh yeah, growth hormone, very fast acting drug.
But that's only that. And I just bought yesterday the anastrozole and the Clen. Yesterday I took my first pill of Clen, and today the second one.
So is that all you've been taking? Then is testosterone and
I was taking LGD 4033. Okay. I finished the bottle. Even I stopped the days that I stopped. I was starting it in December. I stopped all this PCT that I was telling you, and I started it back on.
Weren't you taking some Deca? Haven't you been taking Deca as well?
On November, December, I was running Deca.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on a gram of it for 2 months. 1 month straight on a gram of it, and then the other month on a gram of it. Before of that, I was on a gram of Equipoise. I remember switching Deca Equipoise to Deca for Equipoise because Equipoise was good. It gave me gains. It good. You have to run it high, as you say. But I also like to feel my steroids, like to know that you get a little sense of it. They're
conscious. You
yeah,
can
exactly.
Feel it.
Exactly. But with Equipoise, it's a roid that it's very mild. For people that say that having problems also with intensity and stuff, and like with Equipoise, you won't even notice that you're taking a steroid.
Okay.
In the mind and stuff, it will just make you more sleepy, a little more hungry, and it do gives you more resistance. Of course, in the gym, it's still an anabolic steroid, but very chill.
Helping you get more reps and sets slowly over time, building muscle. And so then you switched to the Deca. You were on a gram of Equipoise, and then you switched to a gram of Deca. And which one did you like better?
The Deca gives me some sense of good mood or well-being, like that, like the Debo. I get really happy on Debo. Yeah, it could be a placebo, of course. I know, but
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's real.
Yeah, because it's a pill. It's an oral. I mean, I also have combined it sometimes with all others, like weed, for example. If you smoke weed, then you're more sensible to your orals. And I have seriously tried Devo, like 10, 15 pills. So it's definitely, I've been on only D-ball cycles because I have heard that on your podcast.
Oh, well, D-ball is strong as hell. That's one you'll certainly feel if you take 50 milligrams of D-ball, or like you said, 110 tablets, 100 milligrams of D-ball. You are going to feel that big time within an hour or two.
Yes, and almost no side effects.
No side effects for you, huh?
Yeah, on low dosages, and only that, no side effects. Like when I've done these huge cycles for competing that have only been like 2 times, is when I have telling you this. And now that I just broke up with my girlfriend and was having troubles with that, I did like experiment to escape from that and not feeling that. I was like doing a lot of roids and doing crazy stuff.
So when you've had side effects from steroids, what kind of side effects have you had?
Probably, but I also know that my side effects are related to smoking 24/7.
Smoking marijuana.
Did you know that when I got my first cycle afterwards, like some months passed by, then my mother fucking put me in a rehab place because I was also, as a kid, since I told you natural and stuff, I tried weed at 16 and the stuff, and I also went to some parties and I took like an ecstasy pill and something, and she made me to pee, and a lot of things pop out because of the pill, and she got very scared. So since then, she was always like that.
Your mom drug tested you.
Yeah, so she was like with this conception that I was a junkie. So when I started roids in my cycle, she was like, oh, okay, so you're a junkie, and now that you're going to do this, you're going to die. So she locked me down.
Okay.
And I was 6 months in practically a jail where I eat like 3 grams of protein top a day. Like a bread for breakfast, a couple of spoons of rice with some vegetable for lunch, and a couple of spoons of rice with beans at night with lentils.
This is when you're at a rehab center against your will.
Exactly, with thieves and stuff. Back then, when I was in college, they put me like in one for like just 1 month. and they did that like for 2 times, but it was in a place where I had a pool, a gym. They took me my diet. The only bad thing, they were giving me a lot of pills, you know.
To affect your mood or to keep you calm or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, the RX ones, you know, the stuff that says that in Netflix there's a fucking documentary that will make you go crazy. That fucks you up. That is the worst thing I have tried in my whole life. You can see it destroying your libido. Your even my mom, when I got out of that place, she used to tell me, you're a fucking parasite laying on that bed. You don't do shit. You just laying on that fucking bed. And she told me that because I had like 2 weeks on the fucking bed on watching Netflix, and I'm just not like that, you know.
So what were you in school to study? You were in college when this happened.
I was studying law, and I was good at it. I mean, in
Law.
50 classmates, I was on top two on the ones that you have to do an exposition. I could give I was good at it, but I also stopped. I stopped it, and I will continue it my career soon. But I have been working, training and that because it had provided me the ability to stay away a little bit from my mom. And now, since I broke up with my girlfriend, now she's treating me better, because here, sadly, you have to still have the support to your parent a little, to you're like, in some cases not, but I'm still working my way out of this situation in this country.
Ecuador, yeah, it's you said very tough life, probably compared to a lot of the guys that are listening to this from Western country, first world country. You've got to overcome.
You need to pay like the salary, basic salary here is like $300 a month, and a bottle of protein, 5 pounds of protein here is like $100.
Wow. Yeah. So you so that's good.
So that's why also the culture. When I tell to normal people sometimes that I eat 10 egg whites, they're like, 10 egg whites and you don't die?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, and I tell them, but you also know there's a cheaper way to get your eggs. For example, I don't buy my eggs in the regular supermarket. I go to a little village next to Guayaquil that it's doubted like the next one, because my mom works there, and then we bring the eggs from there, like from the farms, like I go for my eggs, and there are also places here in the city. You have the regular market, you have the other market, but sometimes they fucking come with chicken shit.
Chicken shit on the egg.
You probably won't use that egg, You throw that egg away, but you still make a huge saving. You do that for you will be buying in bulk when you go to Costco and some stuff, making a saving. But bodybuilders, we make it smart, big on a budget.
Yeah. So what is your main protein sources that you rely on then, since you're on a budget?
Well, definitely eggs and tuna is like a staple for me almost every day since I started. For example, in college, as I told you, started in high school.
Yeah.
15 years old me was doing chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, and I was going to high school. So I had my eggs in the morning, but this I regret, but I was a kid and I couldn't do better. I had my eggs. I had to fight for my dad, 3 or 4 eggs. We were like getting to agreements, so like you can put a 4th egg. I remember I used to go sometimes to watch if he had put the 4 egg, he would get angry if I would go check the trash can if he had break the 4 eggs. But I was like that with my diet. And then I was only 2 breads and the eggs. That was almost like a fucking staple. That's not even healthy, bro. I was missing some healthy fats, some stuff. I don't know, but still I look good. And when you're young, you kind of do these mistakes. But if I hadn't done them, I know that I would be as strong as these new kids nowadays that lifting 700 pounds. But I still know that I can get there. But it's a whole trip, because I need to chiropractic my shit a lot more and stuff that I don't do a lot here.
Yeah. Question: getting back to when you were doing 1,000 milligrams of Deca this past, I think you said December. So you were saying it gave you a good mental feeling. You liked that. What about the gains it gave you? How was the effects on your physique?
The Deca is one of the ones that will give me more vascular.
Not more vascular, or yes?
Like my veins, it's like if I'm taking arginine or stuff, it's like a lot of blood. I produce a lot of blood with Deca.
Deca got you real vascular, you say?
Yeah, I have a big
Cool.
like veins on my calf that I have never had like that with Deca veins on the calf.
And the strength and the muscle size?
Yeah, big pumps, big on Deca, very big. Like you
So
can take off the Deca and get big.
So I
But
mean,
it's
sounds
people.
like you're a fan. Then was there any negative side effects?
Well, I still can have like a normal sexual relation, but it just like sometimes it's not. Even on Tren, I'm like more interested on it. Sometimes you're just like you can go forever on Tren, but with Deca, it's like you don't want to do it so much, so that you finish more quickly. Makes sense.
Okay, so with Trenbolone, you're the time that it takes for you to finish having sex,
Yeah.
you know, because your dick is less sensitive. That's a side effect of Trenbolone. It is but with the Deca, it you didn't get that effect. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay. So going forward then, what are your favorite steroids? Because you said you like testosterone, you like growth hormone. Yeah, it sounds like you like Deca. What's a great cycle that if money was free to do a good cycle, what would you construct?
Well, definitely Devil and Primobolan. Primobolan is one of the Primobolan is one of the less side effects based roid that you can run high and you will
You're a
just
Primobolan fan.
yes. I have tried like only 2 vials of it and it was very good. But so it's even hard to get Primobolan here. You can't. It's like very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I get some and the one when you get one it's like XT. So even if that one is good, it's because it has to be very good. It used to was. I also can get pharmaceutical grade Deca here. You know,
You can or can't?
I can get pharmaceutical grade Deca,
Oh, so do you, like a Organon
but
Deca, is that it?
it's only 50 milli.
Oh, 50 milligram per milliliter. So it's not very potent. You got to use a lot of oil.
It's German.
German.
It's German. It doesn't come with like a lot of oil, but it's only 15. It's 1 ml.
Is it the Organon brand? Organon?
I think so. Maybe it's
Deca
like
Deca
12
Durabolin,
bucks.
right? Brand
Yeah,
name.
Decadurabolin.
Yeah.
$12 the vial.
For only 50 milligrams.
Exactly.
That's not a good price.
No.
So with orals, then D-ball is your favorite oral.
Yes, definitely. I like oxandrolone a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You can take 5 pills of oxandrolone, 5 pills of Debol, and you will be chill. Oral Debol, at first it was amazing, but then still good, but it will give me. I don't know. I just don't like it that much. I prefer it injectable.
You like injectable D-ball?
Yes,
What's the difference for you?
injectable works a lot more. Like I don't know.
For
In my
your
mood, it
body,
puts
you get
me angry.
stronger.
Like the oral Debol puts me more angry.
Oral D-ball makes you more angry.
I mean, sorry, oral Winstrol.
Oral Winstrol. Okay,
Yeah.
so what is it then? Is it you like? Because you said D-ball and Winstrol. What is it? Can you say that again?
Yes, the Winstrol. The Winstrol is the one that when I take it orally, I don't because Debol is better D-bol is only oral. I haven't even tried
Okay.
the one that is injectable.
So you take tablets for D-bol, and for Winstrol, the oral makes you angry, but the injectable, you like the injection.
Yes, exactly. The injection I like a lot. The only thing I don't like of the injection is that it's very painful.
Yeah. Leaves scar tissue, quite a bit of scar tissue.
I can only use Winstrol for 4 weeks. I cannot use it more because my joints get dry. But
Oh,
I
you
have
feel
the
that?
problem. I have the problem just being by myself because I've started since I was 15, and I've always tried to be ripped. I have bulked a lot of times, and I have get big, and I have got fat, but still joints like not that much lubricated. When I take joint support and stuff, I don't want to be a person that needs to take that for life. But when I take those, joints are feeling very great. But
What
still,
joint? What
I have
joint
no
support?
injuries.
What supplement
And
helps
the
you?
shoulder one was out the gym.
What is the joint support supplement? Yeah. What is the one that helps you?
Oh, I tried that one, the three flex of the GNC, the three flex.
Yeah.
I've taken a couple of those like joint supports.
Okay. I think the active ingredient in that is chondroitin, isn't it?
Yeah, D3. I also took it like for 6 months because I have heard that D3 is good when you're on test and roids.
Vitamin D3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I took it. It was supposed to boost the test also a little.
Oh yeah. I take it too. I take vitamin D3 injections.
Nice.
I think it's like the best nutritional supplement, or it's more like medication. That shit is so strong.
For the joints.
For me, it helps my immune system. I have the immune system of Hercules when I'm taking that.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So, coming up, you're gonna be preparing for a new show coming up here, right?
Yes. In
What's
July
your
4th.
July 4th? So, what's your plan coming up to that?
Okay, my plan is this. The last time we prepared ourselves, I went to two contests. One was look to fuck around, and the other one was the serious one. In the one that I was fucking around, I said, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in the men's physiques guy because I definitely look like one, and I could win that for sure. And a guy that had 1 year of training, bro, that weighs like 130 pounds probably, natural, fucking wins the thing. You know, everything is like confabulated. I know that law of attraction exists, so I know it's a little bit my fault that I attract this stuff, but it also triggers me, and I know that I come a lot better. For example, right now, I don't know what's going to happen, and every time it happens, the people still are like looking at the judges like, bro, what are you doing, bro? But this time, I'm just gonna give the package like I'm not gonna worry about the result this time. This time, I just want to look great and be the person there that looks great. And I was just like, if they want to make their own circus and stuff there, well, they make it and make their own, because it's the country of the opposites. People are insane here, so they like to do that stuff. It gives them power. The guy that doesn't even have abs, come on, bro.
I saw that last time compared to the other competitors, you were significantly larger. So it seems like they were looking for the men's physique thing. You were much more dense, hard, and ripped. What did they tell you when they gave it to the other guy? Did they tell you why they gave it to him?
That I wasn't supposed to be on that category, that I should have went in the muscular physique category. But that's like, why did you put me here in the first place? You're telling me this after you gave me the result. You should tell me, no, you can't qualify to this one. And before I go in with that guy, because we were only two in the class, the fucking judge that's standing on the table is giving him instructions also, like telling him stuff. Like they weren't even they weren't even trying to hide it, the fact that it was arranged. Because like the kid could have been nervous, so he to give him a sense like, we already got this. Just go out there and have fun. One of the fucking judges talking to him, bro. It's like, If you would have been there, you wouldn't believe it. So the thing was this: men's physique, and I could have it, and but I cycled very hard for that look, you know. So this time they were telling me that I was too big and stuff. So now I'm on a very more clean cycle. I'm only on test and GH and stuff, and I plan to go completely off, or I don't know what would be your opinion or
men's physique again. You're gonna do men's physique again.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like here the guys sometimes lack a lot of details and stuff. My competition, the guys that I have searched that I need to prepare myself to win them. So I think for the judges don't have this excuse that I'm too big, because it's like a fucking insult to tell a 190-pound these fucking men's physiques of 18 years olds are 205 pounds. You know.
How old are you?
I am
not how old are you? Sorry. How tall are you?
170. 170. No, I mean 170. 178. Almost 180.
178 centimeters. So you're about 5'9".
Yes.
Okay. And you're 190 pounds when you're on stage?
No. When I'm on stage, I'm even lighter, like 180. Well, the last show was 170, 76.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you were very.
So I'm light. Yeah. When I hear these men's physiques at the top level or even amateur level, I know when they're lean, they're like 180, 190 and stuff. So I know I'm like with an Andre Deu or Jeremy Buendia comparison, but still, I know I have to put myself in my context and my country. So I will show you like the men's physique exponents from here. I will show them to you so that you will get an idea.
Okay. So coming up to this next competition, are you going to be doing the tuna, the chicken, the eggs, the rice again? Is that going to be the diet?
I'm already on it.
Yep. And then for the cycle, you're going to stay on the growth hormone and the testosterone. Are you going to add in anything else when you're preparing?
Yes, I wanna have a month of Tren before the competition.
Okay. And you're going to do that. What's the Tren going to do for you?
Hardness. I need more hardness.
Okay.
I don't want to look soft, but
you
know, still. I mean, I don't want to give it to them. I don't want to be too produced, and the other guy being so far away from it, and then you will just like saying like, no, you're in another category or some shit or whatever to give it to the other guy. So this time I'm planning going like completely off of everything. For example, I don't even know if I added the Tren, because the last time I put it and I was so good and it was not worth it. So this time, if I'm gonna do Tren, I fucking do Tren after the show for myself, you know.
yeah. So you can have fun with bodybuilding after you're done with the show and you're in shape. Yeah. All right. So there was one other question I wanted to ask you. So it slipped my mind. Anyways, though, it was great having you on the show today, Jorge. Where can people check out your page? Do you do Instagram, or where do you want people to come take a look at you?
Yes, I made a new Instagram to promote the bodybuilding stuff only. Okay. Like a part for this competition, I'm gonna document it all in this new Instagram.
And what is the name of the Instagram?
Okay, so it's JCORRAL.
Okay, that's it.
J Corral, así JCORRAL line down 999.
Okay, so J Corral _ 999.
Exactly. Right? With the letter C, no K, with the letter C.
Okay, for the corral exactly. Part, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Well, thanks for coming on the Steroids podcast today, Jorge. It was a good talk, bro.
Yeah, it's been an honor, Dan.
If you would like your questions to be answered on the Steroids podcast, go to steroidspodcast.com and leave a comment with your questions, or email or private message steroidspodcast@gmail.com or steroidspodcast on Instagram. Until next time.